Okay, so Blue Capstan asked me what speeches for Obama have I ghostwritten. That's not a question that you should ask a ghostwriter, just to be clear. Ghostwriters, most of them are going to be reluctant to talk about specific things they worked on as ghostwriters because you're just not supposed to. You're supposed to let the principal or the person you're writing for, if you're a professional ghostwriter, kind of speak for themselves to the extent that they can. President Obama is a spectacular writer and speaker, and to the extent he even needed speechwriters, it was because a president can't really keep up with the amount of speaking they have to do. If a president had to write all their own speeches like they actually used to before the 1940s, they really wouldn't get anything else done because speeches take a while to write, and presidents give a lot of them, like every day. So, or most presidents do. So, if you want to know about the history of the White House speechwriting office, I'd recommend you read this book called White House Ghosts, which I read before I started working at the White House. It's a great book, and the history is so fascinating. But essentially, like, I didn't write any speeches for Obama. I worked as a presidential writer, which means I wrote written things. There are two ghostwriting offices at the White House. There's the Office of Speechwriting, which is kind of the sexy one, and there's the Office of Presidential Writers, which is like tucked away in the mailroom, where proclamations and letters and other kind of more personal things that aren't like read aloud by the president, but which he or she would write, but doesn't have time to write, are produced. So that's the kind of writing I did at the White House. The speechwriting office helped actually, okay, so I'll drop this one thing. Like, the other thing you should know is that speeches by presidents, anything written by a president that's worked on by ghostwriters, it's never just one ghostwriter. It's a team effort, and it's a whole office of writers, like on a TV show, making that content for the person they support. And that's how ghostwriting kind of works. Think like TV show writing staff, not like, one person in a closet working by themselves. So I worked with a lot of other writers, at the White House, in the Office of Presidential Writers. I don't even know if they want me to say their names here, so I won't. But the main thing to understand is that no speech that's not directly written by the president is written by just one speechwriter. Okay, so to answer your question more specifically, I got to write some other speeches in the administration for other principals. Like later, when I was at Treasury and sort of in between White House and Treasury, and a little after I left Treasury, they asked me to write a speech once for the administrator of the General Services Administration. So that's the only like full speech draft I ever wrote myself. I was really young, to be honest, and like I'm surprised they let me write anything. I was like 22, 23 when I was doing this stuff. So the speech that I got to work on at the White House, the one time the speechwriting office called me and asked me for help because they thought I was funny, was I think Obama's first correspondence dinner. The president gives like a funny speech at that event, and they wanted me to write some jokes. I don't even remember if they ended up using any of my jokes at all, because I'm actually not that funny. I'm just a pretty good dramatic writer, I think, and not even that. I'm just sort of creative and good at thinking of new ways to write things more than I am like Hemingway or some shit. So don't think too highly of speechwriters. A good speechwriter is only as good as the person they're writing for. Okay, thanks for the question.